voice going on.
Yep. Good afternoon or evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Anaheim City Council meeting to order. Clerk, can you please call roll?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bayless?
Here.
Councilmember Leon?
Present.
Councilmember Rubalcaba?
Here.
Councilmember Kurtz?
Here.
Councilmember Maz?
Present.
Mayor Aiken?
Here.
And Mayor Pro Tem Meeks?
Here.
Let the record show we have 7 members present.
I'm like, did I go out of order? Are there any additions or deletions to the closed session agenda?
Mayor, there are none.
And do we have any speakers on our closed session agenda?
We don't have any in-person speakers, and we did not receive any electronic comments on the closed session agenda.
So we'll now adjourn and close the public comment section and recess to closed session. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We are going to reconvene the Anaheim City Council meeting back to order. The first item on our agenda is an invocation that will be offered this evening by Pastor James Bove from Calvary Chapel. Following that, I'm going to ask Council Member Kurtz to lead us in the flag salute. Pastor Bove, if you could come forward and please begin when you are ready, sir.
Thank you so much, Mayor Aitken, City Council members. We're so grateful on behalf of Calvary Chapel Anaheim. We thank you for your service, your dedication, and all that you do for our community. I want to just share a scripture before we get started. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, one of my favorites and so many others. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. And let's do that now. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you so much for this evening, Lord. Thank you for all of these city council members and for Mayor Aitken. Thank you for their service and dedication and for their care for the community of Anaheim, Lord. So much responsibility, Lord. Thank you for just their willingness to take it all on, God. Give them wisdom as they proceed tonight, Lord God. We pray that they would seek you in all their ways, Lord, and that you would give them the answers and the wisdom that they need to make right decisions for the people of Anaheim, God. Thank you, Jesus. We thank you for all those being honored tonight, Lord, including those who are retiring. Thank you for their many, many years of service. Bless them as they turn to a new chapter in their lives, God. So we just commit this whole meeting to you. We invite and invoke your presence, your help, Lord, in all things. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Please place your right hand over your heart and join me in pledging allegiance on this very special election day. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. We have 5 presentations that we are going to go through tonight to start our meeting, which is always one of my favorite parts of our meetings. First, we are going to recognize our city retirees that were in service to the city of Anaheim for more than 20 years. So our city is built on the dedication of our staff and the work that our employees give to the residents of Anaheim, and they do truly give their all, not just for a few years, but some for decades. We have 2 Anaheim retirees who have each given more than 20 years of service to our city. So for most of us, if we love our work, we know that it is not just a job. It's where we build relationships, take on challenges. Often we spend more time with those at work than we do with our actual families, and it helps us find purpose in the everyday life. Thank you to these retirees for choosing to make Anaheim your home and for leaving a lasting mark on our organization and community. We are grateful for your years of service. I don't know if we have anyone here from Human Resources to invite up, but I would like to call up Casey Costa, as well as John Ty. Is John with us? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Could you please share a few? Would you like to say a few words?
No, thank you. If I was
Mr.
prepared.
Ty, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you for having me here.
I love, beautiful speech. I love it. We not only have the best staff, they are so humble and never like how much we point out the amazing work they do. So thank you to both of you for being here tonight and letting us embarrass you. Tonight, we are also proud to recognize the young women of the 2025 Miss Anaheim Court. The Miss Anaheim program is about more than crowns and sashes, although when they get up here, you're going to realize how absolutely gorgeous they look. It is a scholarship program and a mentorship program that supports personal growth, community service, as well as leadership. And I have to say, this group of ladies shows up for every single community event we do in Anaheim. They're the first person to, volunteer to help us out, and I couldn't be more proud of these young ladies. Through this scholarship program, these young women are going to gain experience in public speaking, civic engagement, as well as personal development, all while earning financial support to further their college education. They represent Anaheim at all of our events, and the impact of this program is felt far beyond just the events that they show up at. They are a role model to the other young women younger than them in the city of Anaheim. I also want to recognize the dedication of the all-volunteer staff behind the program who help guide and grow the Miss Anaheim year after year. Thank you to the 2025 Miss Anaheim Court for your service and for being strong ambassadors to Anaheim. We are so happy to celebrate you girls tonight, so please come and join us for a photo. Thank you so much. Would you mind introducing yourself? This is your first public speaking. I think so. All right.
Hi, good evening to you all. I am Sofia Prudencio, this year's for 2025-2026 Miss Anaheim Beautiful, and I'm proud to represent. Oh, sorry. I am proud to represent the Miss Anaheim Beautiful Scholarship Program and the Miss Anaheim Beautiful organization. Now to introduce my court. First, we have Samantha de Anda. Oh, she's over here. Emily Maldonado. Eliana Ortiz. And those are our senior ambassadors. And now for our teen ambassador, Alexa Vega. Thank you so much for being here. To all the volunteers, thank you. To Miss Debbie, thank you. Especially Miss Adriana and Miss Karen, you all. Thank you. And, oh, sorry. And I hope to see you guys all at the events we volunteer at. Thank you.
You tell me. Yes, would you mind that? Thank you so much. Right after teen. Now, so we're going to take a few photos because I know there's some parents that want photos as well. But if we could have you all look right here.
You guys want to? Great.
Now hold. You're going to have to get used to this. Okay, one more. Oops. Perfect. Thank you all.
the wrong, I'm like a salmon going up the river. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. So next, we are going to be recognizing Isabella Rodriguez for donating proceeds from her lemonade stand to Gilbert High School's teen program. So we are all familiar with the neighborhood lemonade stand. It is a timeless tradition that reminds us of what is really important. So today we get to recognize a wonderful Anaheim resident whose generosity and heart really made a difference. Isabella recently donated $780 to the Rising Sunshine class at Gilbert High School, all raised through her lemonade stand. But obviously this gift is more than just the money. It's a tribute to her mom, who was once part of the program as a high school student. In honor of her mother's memory, Isabella continues to support the program by collecting baby clothes, furniture, and other donations for teen parents. Her dedication is inspiring to us all, not just because of her age, but because of the love and purpose behind every effort that she makes. Isabella, your kindness reminds us that leadership and compassion comes in all ages, and that small acts fueled by meaning can really have a big impact. So on behalf of the City of Anaheim, as well as the City Council, we want to recognize you tonight and invite you up with your family to maybe share a few words. Do you want to share a few words? Thank you.
Just a picture. Great. Let's get everybody together. You right in the middle. And then, let's see, do you think you'll be able to squeeze everybody in?
I think so.
Got it. Okay, so. If we could have everybody look right here, and then we'll have some follow-up photos.
Ready, guys? 1, 2.
Now, if you can hold for just a minute. Anybody else?
Thank you so much on behalf of Gilbert.
Oh, awesome. Great, thank you.
So tonight we get to recognize another amazing and familiar face, a true community leader here in Anaheim, Ms. Sophia Romero. She has made a true lasting impact in District 3 through her generosity, advocacy, and dedication to all our neighborhoods. From supporting local families to empowering youth, Sophia gives her time and energy to lift up our community. Her recent donation of 20 bicycles to local youth is just one of the many ways that she has invested in our next generation. She leads with heart. Her work reminds us of what community is all about. So on behalf of Anaheim and the City Council, thank you, Sophia, for everything that you do for Anaheim. We would be honored if you could join us up here share a few words and join us for a council photo.
You want to say a few words?
Hi, come on, Mr. Hoshi, come join us over here. Well, first, I'd like to thank God for everything. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for, giving me the strength to be able to do this. But I think this certificate doesn't come on my name only. Other people standing here, and the trust of our community city council, Ms. Natalie Rubalcava, and working together with many people from the city. Our mayor, Kristen Moss, and Norma Kurtz, we have the privilege to be able to assist not only in our district, but in our schools. And nothing is possible if we don't have all these great people standing here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mike, and everyone for their trust. This certificate is for my kids. Where are they? They're here. My kids, my husband couldn't be here, but you know, he's always helping us. And you know, what an honor to see this little girl doing such an amazing work for Gilbert, and having here our board member, Mr. Hoshi, and our school face for Gilbert. So it's just amazing, the work that we're doing together. Thank you, and one last thing, if I may, I want to congratulate my daughter because she's qualified for state volleyball, and they're having their finals this Saturday. It's the first time in 100 years that the school Anaheim is making history. So we're very proud of our school. So Jasmine, thank you. Thank you.
Kids love that.
Yes.
Come down on this side. Can I get a couple of volunteers?
Come on.
We may need to do 2 rounds.
Yeah. You tell me, you might be able to get everybody in. Are we, yes, we're gonna use your crowd.
Thank you for volunteering.
You're good. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. If we could have everybody look right here.
Ready, guys? 1, 2.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm like, who am I kidding? They're in here somewhere. There they are. So last but certainly not least, we are going to recognize Police Lieutenant John Yepes' retirement with the City of Anaheim. We are sad that he is closing a remarkable career with Anaheim law enforcement after 25 years of service, including 19 here with the City of Anaheim. Throughout his career, he has served with honor, dedication, and a deep sense of purpose, always focused on protecting our community and leading by example. Law enforcement is more than just a job. It's a commitment to showing up and keeping people safe. In his own words, Jonathan described this work as a journey filled with purpose, challenge, and sacrifice, especially the sacrifices made by his family. To his wife, his son, and daughter, thank you for standing by him through it all. Your support helped make his service possible, and tonight we want to honor the family's sacrifice as well. Thank you for your years of leadership, your service to Anaheim, and your lasting impact on the department. If you could please join us for a photo and maybe share a few words, if you wouldn't mind us embarrassing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council. Councilwoman Rubalcaba, thank you for this. I appreciate the leadership that is displayed up here with the City Council and the Mayor, Manager as well. First, I want to recognize we just lost an employee, Patrick Putman. He lost his battle with cancer. He spent over 25 years with the Anaheim Police Department as a correctional sergeant. I just want to recognize him in that way. I also want to recognize Monty Hernandez, who did 28 years of law enforcement service as well, with 25 years at Anaheim as well. And this recognition is not just for me, but like you said, it's for my wife and for my family, who spent countless hours wondering if I was going to come back home. And fortunate enough, I had the support system, which allowed me to do what I needed to do and help the community and protect those around me, and work with some great officers, some great men and women at the department. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
I think we're done, right? Next on our agenda are recognitions to be presented at a later date. Clerk, could you please announce them?
Thank you, Mayor. We have 3 this evening, recognizing November 1st, 2025 as Extra Mile Day, recognizing November 11th, 2025 as Law Enforcement Records and Support Personnel Day, and recognizing the month of November 2025 as National Family Caregivers Month.
So I'm also going to call to order the Anaheim Public Financing Authority, the Anaheim Housing and Public Improvements Authority, and Anaheim Housing Authority in joint session with our City Council. Clerk, are there any additions or deletions to tonight's agendas?
Mayor, there are none.
Can you please outline the public comment procedures and call forward the first several speakers to address the council agenda?
Thank you, Mayor. Speakers have 1 opportunity to address the City Council, except for the scheduled public hearing. The public comment is limited to 90 minutes or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. Any time remaining of the 90 minutes will be provided to speakers who wish to speak on any non-agenda related items, but within the council's jurisdiction. A second public comment period will be opened by the mayor only if any non-agenda item speakers were not heard during this first public comment period, and it'll open at the end of council business. The time limit for public comment is 3 minutes per speaker. Those wishing to address the City Council must complete a speaker card, which are available at the back of the council chambers. The name and contact information requested on the speaker card is optional. Any unidentified speakers will be called by the speaker card number. At this time, I'd also like to announce that Spanish interpreting services are provided at every City Council meeting. Simultaneous Spanish interpretation is provided through the use of headsets, and consecutive interpretation is available to anyone who would like to address the City Council. For translation services in other languages, we ask you to please contact the City Clerk's office at least 48 hours prior to the scheduled meeting. At this time, I'd like to introduce our interpreter who will make the same announcement in Spanish.
Buenas tardes. Se proporcionan servicios de interpretación al español en todas las reuniones del Consejo Municipal. Se proporciona interpretación simultánea al español a través del uso de audífonos, y la interpretación consecutiva está disponible para cualquier persona quien desee dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. Para servicios de traducción en otros idiomas, por favor comuníquese con la oficina del secretario municipal al menos 48 horas antes de la reunión programada.
At this time, on behalf of the City Council, we would like to remind the public that Anaheim remains committed to freedom of speech, and we ask that speakers address the City Council with civility and refrain from making personal, threatening, abusive, or slanderous or profane remarks towards any member of the council, staff, or general public. We appreciate you reflecting the spirit when you speak. The time now is 5:25 with the 90-minute public comment period set to conclude at 6:55 or until all agenda item speakers have been heard. We do ask speakers to line up at the podium once they see their name appear on the projection screen behind me. And Mayor and City Council, for agenda items, we have 2 speakers, R. Joshua Collins for item number 4 and Paul Hayek for item number 14. If Mr. Collins could step up. Mr. Collins?
Ask me to go first. Go ahead.
Okay. I have, on item 14, we need to tell that crew to take a look at Santa Ana Boulevard, northbound on Harbor. One of their plates is breaking up that makes it so the rails don't move around. I know that spur is not used that much, but it is, you can hear a rumble when cars go over it. And that's why I said it tonight. And we also have a birdie problem back at the Arctic, and you're gonna need saltine crackers to bring them out of the rafters. There's birds inside the building.
Our next speaker, R. Joshua Collins.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is R. Joshua Collins, founder of Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook. First, I want to encourage everyone to give their life to Jesus Christ if they haven't already. There's a heaven and a hell, and Jesus died to save us from hell, to give us everlasting life. We've all sinned. We all need a Savior. And Jesus says in Mark 8:36, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You know, corporate subsidies and pouring into bonds that have nothing to do with helping people. I don't believe that's what's on God's agenda. And I think it's so important for any city to think about what is on God's agenda. And I look at Matthew 25 here, and then Jesus says, then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you cursed, and the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, you didn't welcome me, and naked, you did not clothe me, and sick and in prison, you did not visit me. And this tells a lot about God's heart. He says, then he also will answer, saying, Lord, when do we see you in these situations? And he will answer and say to them, truly I say to you, you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me, and these will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. This, I know, shows God's heart for his love for his people. And are we showing that when we don't have enough shelter for the seniors? I mean, a city that was telling me there's not enough shelter for seniors, they're seeing more seniors on the street. And a lot of times, pretty much most of the time when I talk to city and I ask them, there's a bed available for a person, they say there's no bed available. And why is this not on the agenda as far as getting another shelter? Why do we not have maybe a safe parking agenda item, right? Let's create safe parking for seniors or people that just need somewhere to sleep. Or maybe there's females out there that they just need a safe place to sleep. Why don't we have that on the agenda? Or what about maybe tiny homes, the tiny home community to help get more of these people off the street that can't get any type of affordable housing? Or what about rent control? Why is this not on the agenda? Or maybe some code revisions that would create more safe places for sleeping for people at churches, at homes, other places. I remember one time I was at a place at a church, and they had given me a room, but since it wasn't technically a living space, I got kicked out of there. And that was just one example of a code revision that could have been made. And there's so many other options out there that open up if there are more code revisions in the laws to get people off the street. But our hands are kind of tied due to the way the laws are. But why is none of this on the agenda? Why don't we have God's agenda more in this agenda here in Anaheim? And I thank you, those of you that are doing things for those in need, that have done some things, but there's so much more needs to be done. We still have about 30,000 people on a waiting list for Section 8 vouchers. And I just talked to a gentleman recently. He's been waiting 3 years for affordable housing. He already has his voucher, I guess, or whatever, but he's been waiting for 3 years. We have $29 million for an ATID. Something is wrong and needs to be changed. Thanks for letting me share.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes our speakers on agenda items. We have 7 speakers on general comments, and our first 2 speakers, Raul Rojas, followed by Mark Richard Daniels.
Hello, Mayor and members of Anaheim City Council. My name is Raul Aquino Rojas, one of the Disney ambassadors of Disneyland Resort, and I'm here to provide an update on the Disneyland Resort. The month of August was a busy one in Anaheim community. We kicked it off with the delivery of over 68,000 school supplies to Orange Grove Elementary students and a little magic for our hardworking teachers. That same month, the Disneyland Resort contributed $100,000 to support Store One's pre-opening program development and community engagement efforts. In total, our commitment to Store One and the local community now stands at $590,000. Also, an important update on a project near and dear to Anaheim, the Veterans Alliance of Orange County recently recognized the Disneyland Resort for contributing $100,000 in support efforts to bring a veteran cemetery to Orange County. Also in August, the Disneyland Resort has proudly called the City of Anaheim for over 70 years. To celebrate 7 decades of magic and give back to the community, the resort invited local residents to join in our celebration with 16 unique events over 3 days during the 70s happiest hours in Anaheim. From Crescent Elementary to Loara High School to the Brookhurst Community Center, school children, first responders, families, and seniors got a little bit of Disney magic out in the Anaheim community. And you can learn more about all those events on our Disney Parks blog. In the month of September, we kicked off 2 mentorship programs with Big Brothers Big Sisters, of which I am one of the mentors, for the Loara High School and Cal State Fullerton programs. Also, since the last time we were here, the Disneyland Resort is proud to announce $1 million in workforce development grants this year to 10 nonprofits and school districts that serve Anaheim students and residents. This brings our total granted through this program to $7.8 million since 2017. For this Halloween season, the Disneyland Resort was a proud sponsor of Anaheim Dia de los Muertos celebration and the Anaheim Fall Festival and Halloween Parade. Disney volunteers were on hand at both events hosting fun games for the community, while Mickey Mouse and the Disneyland Resort Ambassador team joined the parade through downtown. As we head into the holidays, for the 3rd year, the Disneyland Resort is collaborating with Northgate Gonzalez Markets to provide local community members with food vouchers. Working with 3 Anaheim-based nonprofits, each organization will receive 100 grocery vouchers valued at $50 each to distribute to families who need some added magic during the holidays. Later this month, we will support the return of the National Family Volunteer Day by supporting the Anaheim Family YMCA in bringing back the cherished Anaheim tradition. As an event sponsor, Disney volunteers will be in attendance to help distribute food to deserving families. Thank you for your time this evening on these important updates.
Our next speaker, Mark Richard Daniels.
Thank you, Teresa. I'll take it from here. I just want to say that we're in a real hard place right now. The CalFresh California has been, cut off. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. And here last week, this council rejected a gate tax, entertainment tax, whatever you want to call it, that could have helped alleviate a lot of stress in this city and made things possible that have been let go for so long. And you could have backed up Councilmember Rubalcaba in putting this on the ballot and let the citizens out there decide. Maybe it's too much of a heavy lift for you guys to do it. So let the people out there decide. And I think they'll get the right answer of how this should go from now on. And it's a shame that basically nobody would give her a second or even carry the motion or move it forward, that kind of thing. And then I'm also reminded of the fact that there's an old Chinese proverb, and it says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is right now. So here, I've heard them all of you, either in the press or here in this chamber, speak about revenue sources and creating new avenues of bringing in revenue. Well, okay, that should have been done 10 years ago. That, if it's that much of a like a new thing for a lot of you, that should have been done years ago. But okay, now get on it. And as far as the entertainment tax goes, this can be put on the ballot by the people out there. It's going to cost a lot of money, but it can be done. It was done with the wage, Disney wage issue a few years ago. And I think that's probably going to have to do, the citizens will have to do the heavy lifting for the rest of you. Thank you.
Our next speaker, step forward.
Madam Mayor and esteemed council, I approached last month asking that the sister city joining of Anaheim and Hebron in the West Bank be agendized. There is now a live petition on change.org. The issue: the Hebrew root word from which the name Hebron is derived is related to joining and uniting. The word Hebron itself means friendship and unity. It can also connote alliance, brotherhood, and community. The Arabic name of this city, Al-Khalil, literally means beloved friend and is also a moniker for the great patriarch Abraham, the friend of God. It is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, over 6,000 years. Anaheim was named by Germans who combined the location of their village on the Santa Ana River with the German word for home. Anaheim is home by the Santa Ana River. Anaheim was established in 1857 and incorporated in 1876. These two cities are very different in history, archaeology, culture, and heritage. What they share is a status of being the most populous city in their respective surroundings geographically. Anaheim is the most populated city in Orange County, Southern California, and Hebron is the largest municipality in the West Bank. They are also both historically known for the growing of grapes. Hebron is famous for the tomb of the patriarchs. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah are buried there, and crafts like blown glass, embroidery, kufiyah production, soap making, and hand-painted ceramics. It also boasts 4 universities, cultural centers, and a football stadium. In 2016, the World Craft Council declared Hebron a World Craft City, followed by UNESCO officially making Hebron a World Heritage Site only a year later. Anaheim is arguably the most famous for being the location of Disneyland, which draws hundreds of thousands of visitors from all over the world annually. Anaheim also boasts its large convention center and is home to the National Hockey League Ducks and the Major League Baseball Angels. Additionally, most of Orange County's significant Arab American population resides in an area of Anaheim known all over Southern California for its amazing food, among other things. It is called Little Arabia, an ethnic enclave formally designated and recognized by the city of Anaheim in 2022. While neighboring Jerusalem and Bethlehem have many sister cities all over the world, Hebron has no sister cities in the United States. Anaheim, too, has a plethora of sister cities in many countries. Hebron's names in both Hebrew and Arabic deserve to serve the relationship of being a sister city to Anaheim: friend, unity, alliance, community. With your gracious support of this petition, the powers that be will recognize the wisdom, goodwill, and forward thinking of establishing and cementing the relationship of Anaheim and Hebron as sister cities and creating a historic legacy in a time when the world welcomes such intent. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Deborah Ashby. I'm with the South Coast Air Quality Management District. It's good to see all of you. I'm here tonight just to make a couple of brief announcements about a couple of funding programs we have open for application right now. I also brought flyers, so you'll have additional information when I finish my remarks. South Coast AQMD is now accepting applications for 4 project categories under the Invest Clean program, totaling more than $417 million. Invest Clean will advance zero-emission freight transportation, expand clean infrastructure, support job training, and deliver public health benefits to communities. The 4 categories are charging infrastructure, truck replacement, battery electric cargo handling equipment, and battery electric switcher locomotives. Invest Clean aims to modernize Southern California's goods movement and logistics system by transitioning to zero-emission technologies. Funding is available for projects located in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. The program is projected to create more than 44,000 green jobs nationwide in areas such as electrical work, vehicle manufacturing, infrastructure installation, operations, and long-term maintenance. There's additional details available on investclean.org. And as I mentioned, I've got flyers for you as well. The second program would be of interest to residents or families and small businesses. It's our Go Zero incentive program. It's now open for application. It's launched $21 million. It's a pilot incentive program, so it's small right now. So we're seeing how it goes and what the interest is. But it's to help residents and businesses switch to cleaner, zero-emission space and water heating heat pumps. These technologies are 3 to 4 times more efficient than traditional gas systems and can help reduce energy use and lower utility bills. Heat pumps work like a two-way air conditioner, providing both heating and cooling, meaning they can replace traditional gas furnace and air conditioning units with one efficient appliance. And applications are processed on a first-come, first-served basis while funds last. Rebates typically range from $1,000 to $2,000 per heat pump, with up to $3,000 available for homes in overburdened, I got 12 seconds, communities, and $4,000 for small businesses. Thank you very much for your time, and like I say, I'll provide some of the flyers for the additional information. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Brian Kay.
Do they?
Mr. Kay, I'll go ahead and start your time. Your time has started, Mr. Kay.
Restart it, please. Thank you. Can you please restart it? Just a button. Rob, sir. Please.
Just so you know, Mr. Kay, we'll restart your time, but there's no requirement that everyone be at the panel when you begin.
Happy day.
And they can also hear you when they're in the back.
I know you don't want to hear me talk. Thank you for taking 15 more seconds with an empty excuse. Last meeting, I presented this, and I'm presenting it again. Hey, this is my mom and dad. They're donating blood. I was a 2174th U.S. Army Reserve blood drive in the 1970s, 1975, during Vietnam. And I wondered why, even before Nick Berardino was around, why I spoke up at the county board meeting promoting the Veterans Cemetery. I remember seeing 10 veterans showing up, and Andrew Doe, don't come in here wasting my time. This isn't the venue. That was the venue. That was the appropriate place for veterans to come and petition. The reason why I'm standing here before you is because I'm looking into the eyes of the people who make the decision. You're either going to allow this police officer to continue to use these false forged criminal plea agreements and hate speech to decide how he conducts business, and you're going to decide to ignore petitioners who come before you. And the reason why we come before you is help you make an informed decision. You know, Greg Audette said, Brian, we don't just let people come into the city and ask us to violate the law. Yes, you did. Gossiap Garian filed false forged criminal plea agreements, and rather than take any time to review the information or the documents, let's go out and arrest somebody and force them to take psych meds. Let's go out and send the SWAT team out and use basically a sledgehammer to solve a non-problem. You know, you have a bunch of guns, why not go out and use them? Not one of you has actually taken the time to review the petition that I sent you and send a response, some sort of comprehensive response. You know, when my parents were faced with the war effort and what was going on and said, hey, come down and donate blood, they did. They didn't have excuses. They taught me how life works. Right there, I'm a child, I'm learning how life works. You donate blood. I'm dealing with veterans as a 5-year-old. They're talking with me and teaching me the importance and how life works. What happened in war, how their friends didn't come back. And I stand here asking you, sharing this information with you, offering you the opportunity to make a wise and intelligent decision, and you stare off into space, or Mayor Aiken, who finally wore some nice clothes because of my past statements, can't even look at me today. At the last speech, you did engage. You never contacted, you never communicate, but you expect me to go to court and go to jail because of false forged documents and bad statements, misinformation that you continue to use today. I've had 2 judges disqualified because of what you've done.
Mr. Kay, your time is up.
It's going to keep going, and it's going to keep getting.
Our next speaker, Thomas Fielder.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Thomas Fielder, and a little over a week ago, I read an article in LAist that was so astonishing that I just had to read some of it into the public record here. So the following is entirely an excerpt from that article. A whistleblower is alleging wide-ranging misconduct by Anaheim's top finance official, including enabling fraud that wastes millions of taxpayer dollars, lying to the city council, and protecting a known sexual harasser. In a tort claim filed in early July, former purchasing agent Carrie Buffard alleges she was wrongfully terminated for, quote, engaging in protected whistleblower activity, reporting sexual assault and harassment, exposing procurement fraud, refusing to participate in unlawful contracting practices, and addressing severe deficiencies that resulted in costly delays and exposed the city to continuous and significant risk. She alleges that Debbie Moreno, Anaheim's finance director and city treasurer, violated the public trust, abused her authority, and disregarded city council policies. The tort claim, obtained by LAist via a public records request, alleges that Moreno, 1, refused to audit the city's credit card purchases, which amount to around $800,000 a month, 2, covered up that the fire and rescue department bought new ambulances and went to the council afterwards to seek approval, 3, does not follow standard best practices for procurement. No member of the purchasing department had ever written a contract, and instead creates additional unnecessary processes, and 4, uses the policy from 1999 to lease computer hardware at inflated prices, bypassing council approval. Altogether, the tort claim paints a picture of a city's procurement department that lacks processes or oversight controls, run totally ad hoc, resulting in the mismanagement of taxpayer dollars. And Buffard alleges in the tort claim her repeated attempts to address issues were met with retaliation. She wrote that she felt like she was being punished for simply trying to protect the city and ensure its actions complied with the law. In April, IT manager Ed Ginn told Buffard to renew a lease of around $4.5 million with Hewlett-Packard for computer hardware, using a policy referred to as, quote, 1999. Buffard was concerned with the high spend for computer hardware, and a conversation with the city's IT admin analyst confirmed the lease was expensive. The per staff, per computer cost would amount to $5,000 with the lease. Other cities spend less on computers. Santa Ana, for example, told LAist the city purchases desktop computers for $850 and laptops for $1,425. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fielder. I would like to also direct you at our last meeting. During the city manager's report, some comments were made about this lawsuit, so if you could please watch those as well.
We'll have our next speaker step forward. Following the speaker is Mark Herbert.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I have been a resident of the City of Anaheim for 25 years, and I love this city very much and enjoy living in it. But I was shocked by violations by the city which I experienced recently. I'm not going to discuss or disclose the details. Rather, I'm reaching out to you to get your attention, provide you with the related documents, and hope that we can resolve this matter by working with you. Just for your, just for your knowledge, I suspect that my effort to communicate with the mayor and members of the city council regarding this matter has failed. I sent emails and filled complaint cards, and I suspect that maybe the staff who screens, I'm sure you're busy and you have staff that screens your, the communication and stuff. So I'm suspecting that they looked at it and they thought, well, this is not something that we need to worry about because it looks like it's a complaint about practice that the city, some of the city departments do with the cover of a city code. So, and I'm sure others have complained, but since there is a code, and that's the response from the departments, the staff from the departments, and I realized that this is not gonna be resolved by talking to them, but I couldn't find any response from the mayor's office, although the coordinator for the city council received my email and cards, and she informed me that the chief of staff of the mayor received my emails. But again, and I shared the same information with one of the members of the city council, but I suspect that none of you really had exposure to the matter. And I will end here, but I'm just gonna say that the code is a law and covers the departments for their conduct, but you will find that this code falls under a violation, a serious violation that goes under the category of abuse of authority and power by governmental institutions, basically weaponization.
Sir, I'm sorry, your time is up.
Weaponization of the authority, the governmental authority, and the
Thank you, sir. Your time is up. Thank you. I'm going to have, I know we have Deputy City Manager, Mr. Ted White is in the back. I did receive your email and have forwarded it to look into it, but I'm going to have you talk to Mr. White. He's right behind you, sir. Thank you.
We'll have our next speaker step forward, Mark Herbert. Following Mr. Herbert is Kenneth Batiste.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. The past few meetings, I've been talking about the two doors at City Hall, the public door and the private door. I'd like to start with the public door, and I'd like to take you through those doors on the meeting of September 23rd, 2025. And you can find this on the timestamp, the 4-hour, 3-minute, and 44-second mark. Mayor Atkins announced, we need as much money as possible to bond it, to bond against. We need as much money as possible to bond against. And I was curious about that. What has the city been bonding for? And 30 years ago, it took out a $518 million bond to expand the convention center, built a Disney parking structure, and other improvements in the resort district. 2 years are left. When the city's finished paying, that will be $1 billion. Disney keeps all the parking revenue. That's $40 a car times 10,000 spaces times 360 days, up to $144 million a year. None of that money is going to housing. Some of that could have been directed to housing. The city could have taken a bond out on housing. $1 billion spent over the last 25 years would have solved about 1/4 of our current shortage of housing units, but the city decided not to do it. So what are we going to be bonding now? And it looks like we're looking again at the resort district, and 3 projects are being discussed behind the private door. You have to put your ear to the door to really get what's going on back there. But there's 3. They're looking at a $32 million 2 Disney pedestrian bridges across harbor. They're looking at a $127 million connector gondola linking the OC Vibe to Disneyland. And they're looking at $200 million for the OC Vibes Riverwalk. Pretty good return on that Disney donations that they listed earlier in the meeting. Wish the public could get that kind of payoff. Well, I have 24 seconds left here. A lot's going on behind those public doors right now, and the next meeting, November 18th, is a big one. There's a lot of reshuffling of the ATID boxes. One of the proposals is to redistribute the ATID funds from 75-25 to marketing to 50-50 towards transportation. I'd like to go on with that, but I'm out of time.
Our next speaker, Kent Batiste.
First thing, giving honor to God, those on the panel that's serving the God of the people. Last week, we had a vote for a tax for Disneyland. We knew it wasn't going to pass. It hadn't passed in 70 years. They had a 20-year exemption. They had another 20-year. They had a 22 or 35-year exemption right now until they went ahead and they came up to Measure L. When Measure L came up, they went ahead and said, we're not accepting no more city subsidies, no more. So at that point, which was August 2018, because of that, the city council rescinded all of the whole agreement. The point of it is, we are $6 to $7 billion in debt. Disney's worth $220 billion. In the first one, this was another thing I looked up. It said the city council held a marathon meeting July 2015. Held a meeting, ultimately voting 3-2, 5 city councils back in that day, to extend the tax exemption from 30 to 45 years in exchange for a $1 billion investment. Excuse me, how's that $1 billion investment working out today? In 2025, we're $6 to $7 billion in debt. The point of it is, and I hear it all the time from every city council person, the TOT, once this is paid off, will go ahead and make this up. Excuse me, we're going to be so far buried down in debt by the time for that comes, with all of our compensation for retirees and the things of the sort like that, that we are going to be fighting to keep our head out of debt. We need a tax. We need a real tax that will pass. But my point is this right here. I don't think it'll never come through the city council. Really. Some of you came in here and ran on campaign reform after the biggest scandal in history of Anaheim. Have we brought it up on an agenda? Not one time. Why? Because it's in the interest of the people of the power with the threats to your personal being, that they rule you instead of you rule you. So the point of it is, and I end with this, we're going to have to go ahead and do the campaign reform. We're going to have to do the gate tax. We're going to have to do whatever needs to be done for the residents, because I just truly don't believe that it'll be done by the city council. Thank you very much.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes our in-person comments. Noting for the record, we did receive 2 general comments, and those were distributed to City Council as well as posted on the city's website.
Thank you. We're now going to close the public comment portion of our meeting and move to council communications. If any council members have something to share, please ring in. Councilmember Maas.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few slides to share. I want to start off by thanking the Rotary Club of Greater Anaheim. Thank you to them. On this last Saturday morning, I joined them along with Neighborhood Services, our Anaheim Police Department, and volunteers from Bikers Against Child Abuse for their biannual neighborhood cleanup in District 5. The Rotary Club has been organizing these cleanups for more than 10 years, and they make a real difference in keeping our neighborhoods cared for. The dad in the picture on the left shared with me that his daughter woke him up early because she didn't want to miss helping out. It's something she looks forward to, and I think that says a lot about these efforts and how they bring people together and help build community pride in a very simple, genuine way. So thank you to our staff. And I want to give a shout out to Jason Perez, who works really hard with our neighborhoods, families, and helps to identify which neighborhoods may need some extra help. So shout out to Jason for that. Next slide, please. Later on Saturday, I attended the Naranjeros La Cuadra Dia de los Muertos celebration at St. Anthony Claret. This event brought together local vendors, small businesses, car clubs, and families for an afternoon of music, food, and community. Father Bill, who is the pastor at St. Anthony, offered a blessing over the cars, and pictured here in the middle is District 5 Cultural and Heritage Commissioner Richard Romero. He's standing beside one of his art pieces along with his father's car, which was featured in the show. It was especially nice to see Commissioner Romero share both his art and a piece of his family's history through his father's car. Next slide, please. A reminder that Saturday, November 15th, South Junior High will host the annual Run for Sharks and Ocean Health Fair, which supports the school's ongoing Ocean Academy. Even if you're not a runner, everyone is welcome to take part in the 1 mile fun run or just come out to learn more about ocean conservation and the work happening right here in our community. The Ocean Academy has created a meaningful way for students to stay engaged in school by connecting what they learn in the classroom to real-world environments. It's a program that inspires curiosity, stewardship, and pride, and it's making a real difference for students and their connection to the world around them. To learn more about the Run for Sharks, visit runforsharks.org. 2 more slides. On Sunday, November 16th, I invite caregivers from across our community to join us for a Caregiver Appreciation Day at St. Anthony Claret, starting at 2 o'clock. This event is for anyone who provides care, whether you're new to caregiving or you have been supporting a loved one for many years and just need a little break or time to recharge. This is an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity to connect with others who understand what you may be going through, to learn about local resources, and to make the caregiving experience a little easier. Caregivers give so much of themselves every day, and this event is one small way to say thank you and to remind them that their well-being matters too. One last slide. Finally, I ask that we close tonight's meeting in memory of retired Anaheim firefighter Jim Huck Fenn. In the picture on the left, he's the second gentleman from the right. Jim was part of the Anaheim Fire and Rescue for many years and was known as the guy who could fix just about anything, a true craftsman who took pride in his work and in helping others. He served on Engine 26 out of Station 10 and earned the respect and friendship of those who worked alongside him. I had the opportunity to get to know Jim years ago when I worked at Ganal Lumber Company. He was always a gentleman when he came in to pick up materials for his projects. And that same kind of humble nature lives on through his sons, Steve and Chris, who I have the privilege of knowing. Tonight, we close in gratitude for Jim's years of dedication to our city and in appreciation for the dedication and sacrifices made by all of our first responder families. I thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Leon?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Last week, we hosted our 3rd annual trunk or treat event at the Anaheim Elementary School District Key Campus. I want to thank Superintendent Chavarria for allowing us to host this event. Families came out dressed up. Our local car clubs, Naranjeros, Brown Descents, Anaheim Car Club brought some incredible themed displays. The energy from our community was amazing. I also want to thank our Public Works team, our Public Utilities team, Dooku, for being out there. Appreciate you. Our Anaheim Fire Police Department was out there connecting with residents and everybody making sure that everything ran smoothly. I want to give a special shout out to Kelly from my team who took the lead for the event, as well as Angie, Maggie, Richard, Jeannie, all of our amazing volunteers who gave their time to make sure that every kid, every parent had a safe and fun Halloween experience. And seeing families and city staff interact really makes it a night to remember. So thank you to everybody who participated, who made this event possible. In September, we recognized our Business of the Month, GEM Enterprises. They are a family-owned company based right here in Anaheim, just west of Euclid on Lincoln Avenue in District 2. They specialize in custom ornamental iron and structural steel. Their attention to detail, reliability, and their commitment to their customers have made them a trusted local business that continues to make Anaheim proud. So congratulations to GEM Enterprises, our September 2025 Business of the Month. Our September Restaurant of the Month is Yo-Yo Burgers, located on Brookers, just south of Crescent. Also a family-owned company based just south of Crescent, locally owned, has quickly become a favorite for a lot of neighbors in that area. Their menu puts a fun spin on burgers, sandwiches, salads, wings, so much more. So make sure to check them out. Yo-Yo Burgers and Chicken, our September 2025 Restaurant of the Month. Our October Business of the Month is Candy for Less. This is a fairly new business, opened this year on Catella Avenue, has quickly become a local favorite as well. But this shop for candy and party supplies. The team has worked very hard to make it a welcoming spot for families, for neighbors, and it's really exciting to see a new business prosper and contribute to the vibrancy of our District 2 community. So congratulations, Candy for Less. Make sure to check them out on Catella, east of Euclid. And our October Restaurant of the Month, just in time for the cold weather, Pho Ga Hai Van 2, located on Magnolia Avenue, just south of Ball Road. It is run by a brother and sister team who take real pride in what they do and what they serve. Their beef pho, filet mignon noodles, their filet mignon noodles and chicken wings are local favorites, and it's the perfect spot to enjoy a warm, comforting meal as the weather cools down. So make sure to check them out as well. Congratulations to all of our restaurants and businesses of the month. Looking forward to a few more for November and December, but these recognitions and events really show how much pride and care our small businesses, our residents take in bringing joy and pride to Anaheim every day. So grateful for the collaboration between our community and all of our city departments that keep District 2 moving forward. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Rubalcaba?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I believe I have some slides. As a council member who represents District 3, which is the oldest part of the city, I represent 50,000 residents who reside here and work. I'm honored to be able to share some of the things that I do as a policymaker here in the city of Anaheim to ensure that not only the committees that we're assigned to, but also the community that we represent is seen and heard here. So I want to highlight, as a council member, I'm honored to serve on the Joint Powers Authority for NorthNet, which is our training center here in the city of Anaheim for fire. And we serve collaboratively with the city of Orange. So in this picture here is myself and council member John Demetriou. As the Joint Powers Authority, we get to vote on various things, but one of the things we did this past week was our strategic plan for 2025-2027. This training center not only represents Anaheim, but it also serves as a training center for other fire departments across the state. So I just want to commend the work that not only our firefighters are doing, but also this training center, which is a real gem for Anaheim. I would like to thank Mike Lister and his team because recently we were asked to join St. Boniface, which is also the church I was baptized in, or my kids were baptized in, but I was married. we were able to join here for an immigration resource fair, and we were able to collaborate with Catholic Charities of Orange County, the Mexican Consul, Anaheim High School, Mental Health Resources and Care California. We met with many of our parishioners who are Catholic, who were attending church, and provided them with resources on Sunday. So it was just a good opportunity for us to meet with many of the residents. Oddly enough, we didn't get a lot of immigration questions, but we did get a lot of public safety questions, not only just from District 3, even though St. Boniface is located in my district, it does serve Catholics across Orange County. And we did get a lot of citizens who are from, or residents who reside in District 4, 5, as well as 2 and 1 who have concerns about some safety issues in the neighborhood. So I did promise to follow up with many of them and work with our police department to ensure that we're getting additional patrols in those areas. And then I would like to also ask Mayor Aiken to close this meeting in memory of retired Correctional Sergeant Patrick Putman, who served with our city for 31 years as part of the Anaheim Police Department. He retired in July of 2024, and unfortunately, he has passed away. So I just would like to ask to close the meeting in his memory. And that may be the last slide. I don't have a slide for this one, but we did just get word that Lou Lopez, who served on the city council and also was a member of the Anaheim Police Department, has passed away as well. So I'd also like to ask that we close the meeting in his memory. He was 81, so he did live a long life and had moved out of Anaheim after serving. So with that, that concludes my council comments.
Councilmember Meeks and then Councilmember Bayless.
I just wanted to remind people of a couple of upcoming events. With Veterans Day coming up next week, it's a very important ceremony or a recognition for our veterans across Anaheim and across our country that do so much for all of us. So on Saturday, on November 8th at 10 a.m. at Eucalyptus Park, the Anaheim Hills Rotary holds its Flags of Honor ceremony, which is such an amazing, beautiful event. They light the flags all up at night. They've got 200 flags out there, and it's just a beautiful reminder every time you drive down Santa Ana Canyon Road what the holiday's about, and really, really appreciate them doing that work. And then on Veterans Day, November 11th at 11 a.m., we will have an event at our Veterans statue monument, our Veterans Monument across the street here. So please come out to both or one of those to really remember the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you. I too have a reminder. Upcoming event, Friday, December 5th. Join us down at Twyla Reed Park. The West Anaheim organization is putting on the tree lighting that's there. And I believe the stage will be, or the stage show starts at 6 o'clock. I know we've got a bunch of kids from the local elementary schools coming and doing some performances. So Santa will be there, of course. Anyways, come on down. It'll be a great time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. City Manager, do you have a report?
I do. Thank you, Mayor, council members of the public. For our monthly Angels Stadium update, I want to provide a general update. We know the stadium is always a matter of interest to our residents, and I want to again share that there are no long-term discussions taking place now and none are imminent. As such, this is a general monthly update as requested by council. And this month, we do have some progress to report back on. While we remain in the second phase of the ongoing stadium assessment, engineering consultants have completed the testing of concrete and metal columns in our stadium. The testing samples have been sent to a lab for processing, with results expected to take 4 to 6 weeks. Once they're done processing the lab work, the findings will be reviewed and analyzed as standard procedure. As noted before, this last step will be to hire an engineering firm for a final assessment based on the testing and results. The finalized assessment is expected in mid-2026. And some great news on our housing element front. The state has officially certified Anaheim's housing element. This is a milestone that marks more than 4 years of work by our city staff, community, the Planning Commission, and of course, City Council. With a certified housing element, Anaheim is better positioned for grant funding, as many grants look at housing element compliance for eligibility or ranking. With the certification, we're also protected from future development applications that may try to circumvent the city's zoning or general plans. With this step forward, we continue our commitment to enhancing housing opportunities here in Anaheim. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that wonderful news, Mr. City Manager. So we're now going to recess our City Council, Housing and Public Improvements Authority, and Anaheim Housing Authority to address the Anaheim Public Financing Authority agenda. Items 1 and 2 are before us. This will be the dates and times for regular meetings for next year. For the public, just want to highlight, we will have a scheduled meeting on Monday, November 16th, not a Tuesday of that week. So that will be the 2026 calendar for November. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
A resolution of the Board of Directors of the Anaheim Public Finance Authority establishing the dates and times for the regular meetings for the authority for the 2026 calendar year. And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. Without objection, we will adjourn the Public Financing Authority and reconvene the Housing and Public Improvements Authority to address the authority agenda. Items 3 and 4 are before us. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Motion and a second, again by Mayor Pro Tem Meeks and Councilmember Leon. Please vote.
A resolution of the Board of Directors of the Anaheim Housing and Public Improvements Authority establishing the dates and times for the regular meetings for authority for the 2026 calendar year. And the vote is set. Mayor, we need.
Oh, pardon me. Can we open it back up?
Let's everyone please cast your votes. Councilmember Rubalcaba. The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. Without objection, we will adjourn the Housing and Public Improvements Authority and reconvene the Housing Authority to address the authority agenda. Items 5 and 6 are before us. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Motion and a second.
A resolution of the Governing Board of the Anaheim Housing Authority establishing the dates and times for the regular meetings of the authority for the 2026 calendar year. And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. Without objection, we will adjourn the Housing Authority and reconvene the City Council to address the City Council consent calendar. Items 7 through 18 are before us. Are there any members of council that wish to pull an item for further discussion? If not, can we have a motion and second to move the consent calendar?
I'll move the consent calendar.
I second.
Motion and a second. Please vote.
The consent calendar also included an ordinance number 6616, an adoption of an ordinance of the City of Anaheim renewing with modifications ordinance number 6598, approving the Anaheim Police Department's military equipment use policy pursuant to California Government Code Section 7071. And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 19 on our agenda is the District 1 appointment to the Older Adults Commission. Councilmember Bayless, would you like a staff report?
No. I'll just make the appointment. Julie Showalter.
Thank you. Please vote.
The vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Appointment moves forward.
Item 20 is a public hearing. Clerk, please read.
Item 20 is a consideration of resolution amending the sewer impact and improvement fees for the east area of the City of Anaheim.
Mr. City Manager, could we please have a staff report?
That is for staff report from Director Amami, please.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This public hearing adopts updated sanitary sewer impact and improvement fees for the East Anaheim area based on the 2024 Master Plan Addendum and Financial Implementation Plan adopted on April 22nd. The East Anaheim sanitary sewer area is generally located east of the 57 freeways as shown on this slide. The fee updates ensures new development pays its fair share of sewer improvements needed to serve build-out conditions as illustrated on this map. Across all land uses, fees are proposed to increase by 36%. For example, a single-family unit fees are increasing from $491 to $667 per dwelling unit. The fees will fund capital improvements needed due to new development and will be adjusted annually per the municipal code. This action is exempt from CEQA as it establishes fees to fund infrastructure. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much, Director Amani. Just to highlight, you mentioned that this applies to new development. So this will not result in any fee increases for current residents in District 6?
That's correct. It's only applies to new development being constructed.
Are there any other questions by council at this time? So I will now open the public hearing. Clerk, do we have any speaker cards for this hearing?
Mayor and City Council, we do. We have one in-person speaker, Mark Herbert, and the time limit is 5 minutes.
Mark Herbert, AnaheimGrease.com. Again, this hearing illustrates the lack of public engagement in pretty much all of Anaheim's hearings and proceedings. So I'll start with my questions here that would be nice to get some answers to at some point before the vote is taken. I'm not clear how the city ranks the projects they choose to fund on their infrastructure. This item, they've decided sewers is important they're in a partnership with Disney, and that's cleared the channels. My question is, on the agenda earlier tonight, there was one about the water wells and the problem of getting funding to clear the 2 wells that are yet to be cleared. They need treatment. The city's been working on previous wells. So what I don't understand is, why is public safety behind the list of projects the city's addressing? Behind the widening of Catella Avenue, which Disney's going to cover, and increasing the sewer size because of the increased tourism demands. Fine project, but it does not threaten the public's health, as do those 2 wells as they wait for funding. I guess one of them, the funding has been lined up, but the other hasn't. So is this a little unclear of how the city proceeds, and where does public safety rate when you judge a project? In this case, Disney came out on top again. Another question about this is the funding of this project. It's in the resort district. It's infrastructure. Why aren't ATID funds being used? Do pedestrian overpasses from Disney's new parking lot take a precedent over the sewers of this area? I don't understand that. What is the thought process that led you to not encourage some of the transportation surplus, if not all, to help fund this project? And it raises the question, why wasn't some of that directed to again, another agenda item tonight, the widening of a road in the OC Vibes project down there? It seems like the OC Vibe has been, their mentor has been Disney, and they've been a good student because they have found where the money is. Okay, a minute here, let's see. Again, let's look at the sewer project in Anaheim Canyon. We were told last week that the tourism industry was very sensitive to a small tax, gate tax, and/or parking fee. Yet you have no problem raising a 36% increase on future developments in this area that you said last week you were looking towards future economic development. Won't that discourage new development? 36% raise? And another question about this particular project. Who's going to pay for the ongoing cost of maintaining those sewers? Is Disney going to chip in, or is it the city? Let's see. Last week there was concern, I know we're on a tight budget, so, getting more heads in beds. Maybe if the council and ATID committees aren't favorable to using some of their assessments for infrastructure projects to benefit them here, perhaps we should take a pass on the 2% assessment this year to increase heads in beds, and
Mr.
use the
Herbert, your time
surplus
is
to
up.
cover the expense. Thank you.
Mayor and City Council, that concludes our in-person speakers. Noting for the record, we did not receive any electronic comments on this public hearing.
Thank you very much. So I'll now close the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments by council at this time? Mayor Pro Tem Meeks.
I'll just go ahead and clarify that this sewer study is in the East End in my district, District 6, and is in no way related to sewers in the resort area. They are not tributary to each other and do not impact each other. I also will note that although I am always reluctant to raise fees, I do think it's important that when a new development or new project comes in, that they pay their fair share of their impact on the infrastructure of our city, so that the people already here don't have to carry that burden. So that's what this fee does, and I will support it and move this forward. Make a motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. May I have a second? We have a second by Councilmember Bayless. Please vote.
A resolution, the City Council of the City of Anaheim amending the sewer impact and improvement fees for the east area of the City of Anaheim and determining such actions are exempt from CEQA pursuant to Public Resources Code Section 21080B8 and Guidelines Section 15273A. And the vote is 7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you, Clerk. Next is our report on closed session. Mr. City Attorney, do you have anything to report?
Thank you, Mayor. No reportable action.
And there are no non-agenda item public comments, correct, Clerk?
That's correct, Mayor.
So are there any future agenda requests by council members at this time? Councilmember Rubicalva and then Councilmember Meeks.
It's not a future agenda request, but I would like to ask, over the weekend, I received requests from several residents who are either laid off or affected by the federal shutdown. And Mike Lister was able to provide some detail, as well as other people here who work at the city, on food sustainability opportunities. And I'm just asking staff to consider providing something for residents here as well. So it's just a request.
Thank you very much. Councilmember or Mayor Pro Tem Meeks.
Thank you. Not something necessarily to bring back to council, but as far as staff goes, a couple of times over, my decades here, we've had a permit streamlining task force to help kind of streamline our process, make it more understandable, help people through the permitting process and development, because it can be confusing. And now we have a new building official and a new deputy planning director. And I personally have been contacted about some people that were struggling with the process. And I think some of it is the average person does not speak planning. It's, yes, they're, one of them, they were doing one thing and they wanted to add something in, and all of a sudden they felt like they were getting hit with all these last minute conditions and this and that, and were confused, and why is it so difficult? And it was because this little addition that they didn't think was a big deal kicked in some requirements under the zoning code, but they don't speak zoning. So I would like the city staff to kind of refresh that permit streamlining task force and work with our new staff that are over that and see what we can do to just help make it easier for the people who don't do this every day. So, thank you.
Great idea. Thank you. With no other items, no business before this council, we stand adjourned to our next meeting to be held November 18th, 2025. And I would like to adjourn this meeting in memory of Jim Huck Finn, Patrick Putman, and Lou Lopez. Thank you, everyone.